Hey fam, topic mixer family here. I want to talk to you about Jeff Epstein. Let's try to keep this simple. Jeff Epstein last night or yesterday committed suicide in a New York federal uh, penitentiary. Um, who was Jeff Epstein, you ask? He was supposedly a multi-billion-dollar financier for rich investors. He had in 2002 been accused of raping underage girls or having sex with underage girls, and he served 14 months in jail. During that time, he was allowed to leave prison to go to work during the day and had to return at night. This was a deal that was made by by our current or former labor secretary under Donald Trump, who made a deal that was non-judiciary that allowed him to go free. Epstein's life starts at Lafayette High School. That's the information I have. And I've obtained this from several different sources, like I said, Vanity Fair, New York Magazine, New York Times, Forbes, among others. His life started at Lafayette High School. He skipped two grades, so then he ends up New York Copper Union and New York Institute of Math and Science. He dropped out of that school. I don't know what year he was in. That information is not given, but he did become a teacher at Dalton School. Dalton School is a elite school in upstate in Manhattan, or not upstate, but in Manhattan. It's a college preparatory school. He was a teacher there for at least 2 years. It was time he met Ace Greenberg, uh, who was the president of Bernstein Bear Stearns. He later started working for Bear Stearns as a options trader. He then became a partner within 4 years. Within becoming time of becoming a partner, he then left the company in 1981 and formed his own company called L. Epstein and Company. He handled billion-dollar customers. You had to have $1 billion in your bank, or you were not going to be one of his customers. He did not handle anyone that was under $1 billion. So if you had, say, 600 million, $900 million, you were a little short. You were not getting in. Um, little information is known about his business. He had one verifiable client, and that was Leslie Wexler, founder of Victoria's Secrets. Um, Apparently, he is no longer a client of his. Uh, he said he fired Epstein over a decade ago. But during this time, Epstein did acquire a house from Wexler. Apparently, the way his company works is he gets power of attorney over his client's money. So whatever happens with that money, he is in control, absolute control of that money. He says he does what he must for his client. Um, so I guess that was okay for him to sign over that house to himself that he got for $0 from Wexler in the transaction, which was under another company supposedly that uh, Epstein owned. Um, Again, no one really knows much about his finances other than that. Uh, the media has reported that he's worth billions of dollars. According to Forbes, he's not worth that much as far as they know, because we can't get any information on his company. His company is offshore. It is in the U.S. Virgin Islands, and any attempt by the media has been blocked. When they call the number, the person that answers the phone hangs up. Um, Again, on his other side, he was a recluse for the most part, but he had a lot of dealings with people like Donald Trump, Bill Clinton. Some other names have come up: Tony Blair, um, uh, Richard Bronson, among others. Even Puff Daddy and Leonardo DiCaprio. The man hosted a party where you had to have $10,000 to get in the door, though his buddies, Leonardo DiCaprio and apparently Puff Daddy, didn't have to pay anything. Cavassier was the liquor of choice, which comes around in all of Puff Daddy's commercials and his big push with that wine. But anyway, um, that's beside the point. And going on with this, uh, it was said that back in '89, this is some other information that come up, that Epstein spent most of his time chasing down fraudsters who were stealing from his client, like lawyers and financial people, other people who had done things in it. Now, one of his former bosses, uh, Eisenberg, was convicted of a Ponzi scheme at Bear and Stearns, and this was after uh, Epstein left the company. So I don't know if that was why he left the company or if there was any other reason why he left the company. But I do know that one of his former bosses left the company for that reason. Um, so, like I said, he dropped out of school. He became self-made man after that. Uh, and now the biggest thing with him that is coming up is that some of his money may have been made through sex trafficking, and that was to some big names, like I said, Donald Trump, Tony Blair, Naomi Campbell, Dustin Hoffman, Michael Bloomberg, and Richard Branson, among others. They said that he may have possibly videotaped sexual sessions with these folks, including Clinton, who was on one of his airplanes. Their worth, FBI, according to one magazine, found evidence of possible video equipment and tapes in the house. Uh, so he could have been blackmailing people as well. Like I said, don't have absolute knowledge of all the things that Epstein was up to. Uh, But the man is dead now, and again, like I said, a list of 2,000 possible people tied to Epstein and his sexual escapades was coming out. And I don't know if that has anything to do with his death, and I do not want to get into the conspiracy theories. But again, William Barr says they're set to investigate. Trump today, in a tweet, tried to blame it all on Clinton, said Clinton had something to do with his death, and vice versa. People are blaming it on Trump. Some things do look suspicious. And I'm sure a lot of information will come out that people don't want to come out about this. Like I said, with the name circulating around the guy who used to date young models and had young girls come to their house to do massages. I mean, girls like as young as 14. Yeah, sick. Very sick. Um, Epstein is one of these people that won't be remembered for the good things he's done. He will be remembered for the sinister things he's done. Um, Sex trafficking is a serious crime in the United States, a serious problem in the United States, and to see it among the highest levels in this country, people who say they're trying to fight this, maybe people also involved in it, is sick. And it's not just Democrats or Republicans; it's a lot of people sick. There's businessmen involved, politicians from around the world. That's sad. And they're all related to this man. They went to his private islands. They were on his 727, his express plane with the padded floors. The stories that are coming out, some of them are rumors, true, but there are allegations that come from people who are verified in court as saying things about this. And there's evidence that was found at the house that these people were there and this actually happened. It's sad, it's sick. I feel mostly for these young girls and society and the world. You know, we have crime and violence on our streets here in the United States. We have drug trafficking and all that. And people like Epstein were probably involved in laundering and drug trafficking and sex slaves. All these are crimes, and they're usually committed against poor people. And there's really nothing I can say about this that's good. But topic mixer family, if you have any comments on anything I've said here, please comment below. please subscribe if you haven't subscribed, because we have more videos coming. And I was going to talk about football this weekend, but we're going to get to that next. Thank you again for tuning in to Topic Mixer, and you have a good night.